I wouldn't become a copywriter in 2025. And before you rage click off this video or start arguing with me in the comments, please understand that I've already made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling my copywriting services to clients. So I'm not going to try to sit here and convince you that you can't make money from it. I've made money from it. I've made a lot of money from it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show you three reasons why the business model is completely flawed in 2025. And I'm actually going to give you a better model where you can take your same skills as a copywriter, as a funnel builder, as an agency to make 10 times more money. Now, for you to understand these three things, the first and most important thing is right now, we have experts and gurus or whatever you want to call them filling the market with your competition, right? We had the likes of Andrew Tate, who had over 100,000 people in his program, and many of them in the copywriting track in Hustlers University, which created tons of kids and people trying to become copywriters, which led to them filling the job boards, filling Upwork, and just getting way too competitive. Not only that, but we have people like Iman Gadzi, who rose to even more fame over the last year. And in his program, Digital Launchpad, what is he teaching? Copywriting. And then all of that, we have these little spawnlings, which they've already existed for years. I mean, I've been in this game for 8 years. It's not like copywriting is some new thing or some new business opportunity, but it's just only accelerated. And so now we have all these spawnlings. They start their little discourse, their little courses, and now there are well over hundreds of thousands of copywriters filling the job board, all competing for the same clients in a lead pool that's not even that big, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But if you just look at any job board right now, there are more people offering their services than there are people hiring for them, right? I even saw the other day, there's somebody who is offering to pretty much slave away for $1,000 a month. They use that language. They're literally like, I will slave away for you. I will do everything. I'll build your funnels. I'll write your VSLs. I'll do this, do all of that for $1,000, which only tells me that the only way to compete in this market is race to the bottom of the price barrel. I remember for something that I charge over $30,000 for up front, there's people going out there and they're trying to sell it for $500 just to get clients, just to make it, just to get some money, which, of course I want them to win. I want them to get paid, but it's a sad reality because what they don't know is they're going to get paid $500 to $1,000. They're going to start working for a client that mistreats them or doesn't really value them. Then they're going to dislike their client, which is going to lead to their quality of output going down, because when you don't like somebody or you don't like the project you're on, your work is going to be terrible, right? And I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Some of the clients you're working on, there's not as much excitement in your copy, which leads to worse results, which then leads to your client firing you because the output isn't as good and you're not getting them a return on their investment. And so there's tons of these copywriters going through this cycle where they're then back on the job board begging, please, like, bro, come on. It's sad. You're way more talented. You have skill sets that are worth more. But sadly, in this model, there's just not enough to go around with the amount of people trying to get into it. I mean, it's so funny. When I was younger, I started my business at 14 years old, and I started going full-time into copy when I was about 16, 17. And back then, when I tell my friends that I was a copywriter, they would be like, what the frick is that? Like, they don't even know what it is. But today I was talking to some students at our church and I brought up copywriting. They're like, oh yeah, I know what copyright is. I'm trying to become a copywriter. And then this other kid's like, yeah, I know what that is. I watch these videos. It's gotten so mainstream. Just like when drop shipping, everyone's like, what the heck is Shopify drop shipping? And now everybody knows what it is. My mom even knows what it is. My dad knows what it is. My friends, like, everyone knows what it is. And so we're hitting that point in the market now with copywriting where people are getting aware of what it is. And there's just so many people in it. So the first reason why I believe this model is flawed is just due to the amount of people trying to get into the industry. It's just gotten way too hard. Now, the second one is a big one. It's a big one. And you can act like, oh, it's a good thing for you, but it's really not, especially if you are getting paid to write copy. You see, language models and AI have gotten to be so good. The other month, we ran a launch for one of the creator partners on our portfolio. We did over 6 figures in a single week. And people were DMing me from that lead list being like, oh my gosh, this funnel's so good. I was reading it. You're speaking right to me. I wasn't even trying to buy a course this year. And I bought it because this was so good. Who wrote your copy? This is so good. And I didn't try to pretend like I did. No, I just told him, I was like, I use Claude. I use Claude AI. Claude wrote this entire thing. I'm not going to like hide or pretend I'm this amazing copywriter. No, AI wrote it. I sat at a coffee shop. It took me like an hour to play with it, edit it, and boom, funnel's done. Ran a launch $100,000 in a single week. And so language models have gotten extremely good. And so most clients just assume that copywriters are just using AI, and they're gonna be like, I want to pay you all this money because you're not selling your time. You can't be like, oh, I charge $5,000 now because my time, this is gonna take me. No, you're using AI. All right, come on. You're using AI. And you should be. I believe you should be. But the sad thing is, it is devaluing copywriters out there, and it's making it so that copywriters have to charge less to compete. Or these creators and coaches are now just using AI agents to just write their copy, and it's making it really hard for you to justify your work. And we see this all the time with a lot of the people we talk to. Either copywriters using AI or their clients are, and their clients get a good output, and they're like, why would I ever want to pay this copywriter anymore when I have this tool? I can write it instantly. I'm not waiting on revisions. It's done, right? Of course, like for me, I used to, outsource work to copywriters, and now I don't. I just build AI agents to do it all. And so one important lesson from this is, if you don't own it, if you don't have ownership, you're overhead. You don't own the offer. You don't own the thing you're promoting for your client. So you're overhead. The second they look at the P&L, they want to cut expenses that month. Guess what they're doing? They're looking at your name and they're like, do I need him? Could AI do this? Did he really do a good job? And that's where you get fired. And I know this because I've gotten fired. I'm not sitting here pretending I'm better than you guys. Like, a million times I got fired, yelled at, disrespected by clients, people disputing my payments. Like, I've gone through it all after being in this game for 8 years. And so I'm speaking from my personal experience and trying to help you avoid the route that I went down. And so not only is there a ton of competition, but now we have AI. But the third and worst thing of all is what I call the offer owner recession, right? There are simply not enough people producing quality products that you can write for. There aren't, especially when we look at it and we see that there's hundreds of thousands of copywriters now, and we look at how many coaches or experts are really making over about $20,000 to $30,000 a month, which is about how much they need to be to justify even like $1,000 to $2,000 retainer. Like, that number is so slim, right? And they're hard to find. There's not many out there. There was a big boom like during COVID, and during that era we had Sam Ovens pushing stuff, and we had Traffic and Funnels and all, Russell Brunson pushing it. We had a boom where there's a ton of people creating good products, but now it's going down. Like, these people are more obsessed with the idea of not having to create a product and being a remote salesperson or a setter or a copywriter, that we don't have enough people creating good products. And so there's just not enough work. And so you can become the best copywriter in the world. You can pay all those experts to get copy feedback and review this and review that. But if there aren't people available to pay you, you're not getting paid. Simple as that. And I'm being direct and honest with it because I want you to realize this. I don't want you to lie to yourself and be like, no, I just need to get more feedback in my copy, or I just need to keep posting on Twitter. And like, dude, there's an offer owner recession. That's why, again, job boards, there's less people, posting, trying to hire than there are people offering their services. And that's a telltale sign of an imbalance in the ecosystem. It's just like if there were too many wolves and not enough deer to go around, at some point the wolves are going to be hungry. They're going to die. It's going to dwindle. And so there needs to be this balance in the ecosystem. Right now, there just isn't that balance. There was at a certain point. That's where you see, the experts you follow making all this money and doing that. But realistically, they're making money just teaching you. And so there's an imbalance. So there's competition, there's AI, there's an imbalance, there's an offer owner recession. Those are the three reasons why I wouldn't become a copywriter. Now you're like, okay, Josh, that's pretty doom and gloom. What would you do? If you think you're all so smart, like, what would you do? Well, I would do the exact same thing I did, which is go into personal brand arbitrage. Now, it can be a deep topic. There's 4 steps to it that have already broken down in a 57-minute long video training that's just on my YouTube video. You don't need to opt in for it. It's linked below. But really quick, just to summarize it, what I do in my company is I approach creators who already have an audience, right, that are usually making money with affiliate marketing or brand deals, but want to own their own products that are digital, whether it's a membership, a course, or anything like that. Then I go to them and I say, hey, you already have an audience. You like being the face, but you don't like handling commerce. You're not a marketer. You're a content creator. I will come up with an idea for a digital product that you can sell to your audience. I will build everything. I'll do the copy. I'll do the funnels because I'm already doing that as a copywriter. I'll handle all of that. I'll own the tech stack. I'll handle the payment process, all of that. You just be the face and create the product, and we'll split it 50-50. And creators love this because, again, their brand deals are drying up due to how many people are trying to be a content creator. They have a diehard following, but nothing to sell to them. And they want to get into digital products, right? They're seeing the celebrities doing masterclass.com and teaching information. They see how much people are making on wap.com and school.com. Like they see it, like, I want to get into it, but they don't know how to do marketing. They don't know how to do sales, and they have an audience. So for me, doing a 50-50 split is easy because within the first 2 weeks of signing them, we run a fast launch. We profit, boom, like that $100,000 to do with the creator partner. We ran it, we launched it, I split that. And with one creator partner, I can make more with just one creator partner than 10 copywriting clients. And what's even better is I own part of the offer. I own the marketing assets. I own the tech stack. I own the email list. I own the payment processor. All the creator owns is what their face is on, meaning the product and their audience. And at any point, if that creator wants to jump, great. I go find another creator, put them on the face of the thing we just created, and we keep running it. I have the list. I have the payment processor, everything. And this is a model that my mentor, Mark Lack, shared with me back when I was 17 years old. And finally, I was like, I'm going all in on this. And he was able to do it for celebrities like Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Alex Jones, Jordan Belfort. He took it to the highest level, doing over 8 figures from it. And so I made the switch, and I think you should too. I really believe that the opportunity in 2025 isn't going to be, putting your dreams on hold to build someone else's empire. I believe the opportunity for copywriters, freelancers, agency owners in 2025 is personal brand arbitrage and owning their own offers without having to show your face, without you having to be the expert or even build the audience. You can just arbitrage it from someone else. So that's the direction I'm headed. I've already been heading that way. That's how I make my money now across the board. I don't do any more consulting. I don't do any more one-off client work. I only do this. And so I think that you should as well too. So if you want to check out that video where I walk you through the 4 steps of how to get your first creator partner in the next 30 days so you can fire your clients and control your income, go check out that video. Enjoy.